One of the San Bernardino killers had an iPhone, and now the FBI needs help hacking into it to get information out of it. Apple says, no, not going to do it. All rise, Judge Andrew Napolitano is here.
All right, now, what kind of a brush do you want to paint me with this morning?
A nice one. My position is, do it, Apple. Unlock that iPhone and let's get the information we need on these killers. To me, it's a question of security. I'm sure you see it the other way around. Make your case.
Well, not only do I see it the other way around, but the Congress sees it the other way around. Guess what hacking is? A felony. Guess what federal judges can't order you to do? Break the law. So if the FBI really needs to conscript a private person, Apple,
it wouldn't be
against
hacking.
it. Sure it would.
No, it wouldn't.
Hacking is defined as the unauthorized entering of somebody else's computer for a purpose not served by the owner of the computer. This guy's dead. The feds are unable to get in there because they lack the intellectual firepower that Apple has.
No, they lack the key. Apple has the key.
No, Apple does. According to Apple, they don't have the key.
They can create the key. They can create the key. But if that's the case, it would not be hacking, would it?
It would be hacking if the FBI conscripted someone against their will to break into somebody else's computer. Now,
you're technical.
No. What's technical about Congress writing a law? Congress wrote a law saying you can't do this. Whether the FBI, the NSA, the president, Stuart Varney, Tim Cook, you can't break into somebody else's computer.
All right, break away from the technicalities for a second. Do you think that
Congress wrote a law? If Congress wrote a law saying if you're in the computer business and the FBI comes knocking, you better help. That's a different story. But Congress wrote a law that says the opposite.
Okay.
Surely you believe in obeying the law, Mr. Varney.
Yes, I do. Supposing Congress, let's suppose Congress goes along with this. Okay, there's a new law. You can do this. You can do this. Then you'd have no objection?
It would be a harder case to make if Congress had authorized it. But there are serious problems with forcing a private person to work against their will. That's called slavery.
Oh, come on.
If the FBI wants to go out, if the FBI wants to go out and hire people, even hire them away from Apple, it has every ability to do that. But to force Apple to do something against its will, at its own expense, is prohibited by the Constitution. Now, here's where I think this is going to go.
In the interest of safety?
But this is not the ticking time bomb case. The owner of the phone is dead, thankfully. In my world, this wouldn't have happened because the people in San Bernardino would have been armed and would have shot back at him. Another story for another time.
That's another story.
The FBI can subpoena the phone records, and they can do reverse engineering and find everybody that called that phone and everybody the phone called out. And they can do that without breaking into the phone.
Maybe. I'm not sure of the technicalities.
So here's where this is going to go.
The Supreme Court.
Where Justice Scalia just died from. Yes.
Has to be.
Yes, because this is the first of many of these. I'm actually glad that Tim Cook is resisting this because this is a magistrate judge, a judge that usually deals with discovery matters that should be ruled on by a district judge and eventually a circuit court of appeals and eventually the Supreme Court of the United States. But I predict that Congress will weigh in on your side, and that will make the Tim Cook argument more difficult. But for now, I think Tim Cook is defending the Constitution, and I applaud him. Do you applaud me, Mr. Varney?
I applaud an amicable discussion over a very serious issue.
Yes,
which we always manage to do, Judge.
Yes,
always
we do. Yes,
we're good at this.
All right, sir.
Are we done?
Yes.
Judge.
Fit up that belt right today.
As always, Judge.